Hello again, guys. So it is, what the hell is it? It is Tuesday, February 16th, 2016. So I guess this is my first of the actual, daily vlogs again for this failed normal channel. And I decided I would talk today about why I bought this brand new fancy little camera for Fail Normal. Because this is a beautiful little beast. If you are a geek and you like doing video or photography or anything like that, definitely always take a look at Sony equipment. But basically, I went out and I bought this thing yesterday, and I figured if I talked to you guys about why I decided to buy a product like this, it would make sense to you guys, and it would inspire you to go out there and invest in yourself and the type of equipment that you need. So basically, one of my big ideas with Failed Normals, my wife and I are going to be traveling a lot more all around the country and all around the world. As I've talked about on my other YouTube channel, basically I've spent about a decade of my life, the last 10 years of my life, trying to build something. Trying to build an empire or whatever else. And I've tried to get employees, and I've tried to scale, and I've tried to do all that stuff that you're told you're supposed to do. And basically I suck ass at it. It just don't work for me. I don't know what it is. I don't understand human beings. I don't understand any of them. I don't understand employees. It's just horrible, right? And what I found out in life is that basically I am very successful when I'm on my own. When I am out basically on my own, magic happens. It's just like manna from heaven. And then as soon as I start trying to bring other people into the equation, everything goes to hell. And again, if at first you don't succeed, try again. But when you get to try again, you decide, you know what? Sometimes there is a lesson to learn. Sometimes there is a lesson to learn. And my lesson is Eli don't need to scale. Eli just needs to be Eli. So basically what I'm doing, like I say, is with the Eli the Computer Guy channel, that makes me a good amount of money. Eli Computer Guy Live channel makes me a decent amount of money. I'm getting hired out to do public speaking and that kind of stuff. And so what I've decided is screw it. If people want to pay me stupid amounts of money for not doing very much work, I should stop being so fucking stupid. There's a certain point in time when you go, you know what? If I can make this income and work one day a week, screw it. Right? And so with that, basically what I've decided to do, since I can't scale for the life of me, but I can make decent money doing my own weird little things, that, again, my wife and I are going to start traveling more. We spent 9 months of last year in a travel trailer going around the country, and basically I'd like to do more of that kind of thing. What I found is I don't think living in a travel trailer year round is the greatest way to go, because there are some stresses. So we would like home. And we already have a home. We already own a house. So basically the idea is that we're going to go travel around and do little 1 month, maybe 2 month, maybe 3 month excursion places. So hopefully soon we'll be going down to the Everglades down in Florida for a month, right? And so the idea is we'll go down to the Everglades, or we'll go to Burning Man, or we'll go to Europe. We'll fly off and do these things. Then I'll come back, spend a couple of days making money, and then away you go. Because it really is ridiculous. Like I say, with the YouTube channels, my main channel, Eli the Computer Guy, main channel, makes me a decent amount of money. And there's something called diminishing returns. True story here. If I work my ass off and put out a video a day on Eli the Computer Guy, I actually make less money than if I put out one video a week. Not even joking. If I put out one video a week, it is better for all the metrics and all the numbers than putting out 5 videos a week. Just how it goes. So if that's the case, basically my idea is I'm going to sit here, I'm going to line up 5 or 8 videos, put them onto scheduled posting, and then let them trickle out, right? Again, I'll work my 1 week a month, and then we'll go off and travel and whatever else. But anyway, so that's kind of the idea with Fail Normal is I do like to be active. I like to work. I like to create. And so if my work isn't really going to be that valuable anyway, like I say, with diminishing returns with the other YouTube channels, then I might as well just go out there and do something goofy and cheesy, such as, failed normal. And so the idea is, so I'm going to go out and I'm going to be doing these little vlog videos while I'm out there. And then I'm also going to be taking the scenery shots, right? Because there is amazing scenery out there. Like when you go out and you travel to the Grand Canyon, like when you see the Grand Canyon, it's just mind-blowing. Like, and that's one of the curious things. Like, there's very few good pictures of things like the Grand Canyon or Yellowstone or Glacier National Park or any of these other places. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to go out there and then be able to take these video shots. So the idea is I'll go out, I'll be in front of this amazing scenery, and then just take these nice 15-second video shots. And you can hear the birds in the background, and you can see the critters, and you can see the buffalo, and you can see all that stuff going on. So I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, well, if I want to go out there and I want to do these video shots, what kind of camera should I use to do this, right? So I already own one 4K camera. So the 4K camera that I'm actually looking in right now, right? That's a 4K Sony camera. The issue with that, though, is it's a big camera. It's an actual camcorder, so it's like this big, right? So it's a real pain in the ass to drag around, right? So if I want to use it, I've got to drag it around. It has a limited power supply on it. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. Get into this whole problem of like usability. And not only do you have issues of usability, but then you have to worry about it banging into something. The larger an object is, the more likely you are to hit something with it. And it's got a big old lens on it. It's all kinds of mechanical issues. So dragging that thing around, especially if I go like kayaking, like I like kayaking and being on the water, I can't imagine dragging that thing out on the water. That would just be like $1,700 like toast in a second, right? And then the other issue comes. So you say, well, but what about this? So I've taken a lot of 4K video on my Note 4 over the last year. And this actually takes a lot of very good video. The problem that I run into, though, is, again, when you go into usability, this is a real pain in the butt. So a lot of the travel that I do, I'm traveling with my wife. And so, the more I have to slow down, the more I have to stop, the more of a pain in the butt it is for her. And so with this thing, the problem is I've got to pull it out. Then you got to hit this, then you gotta swipe, then once this comes up, if it's on the right screen, then I gotta hit camera, then once I've hit camera, now I have to make sure everything is proper, and then from here I can hit record, and now it's recording, right? So that's a nice long tedious process in order to actually record any video. What I like about this, and so that's a problem, right? So this is something that I already own. It already does very good quality 4K video, but it's a pain in the ass to use. So what I was looking for then, I need a camera that is very mobile, that I can literally put in my pocket. So with this camera, right, I can just take it, I can slip it into my pocket, and there it is, right? You might not even tell that it's there. I don't have to worry about it banging into things. I don't have to worry about being a target for criminals. Because again, like if I'm traveling, especially if I start traveling again to third world countries, having a big old 4K camera around your neck says, hey, look, rob me, right? I just have my slouchy little pants on, and I look just like a slouchy little slouch. Good. It's nice and small. And then, so from the size standpoint, that the whole form factor standpoint, that's good. And then from the speed standpoint, what I like is I can just sit here. You click over, so basically this takes nice pictures or video, so I just make sure it's on the video thing, and then all I have to do is I hit the power button, it powers on that quick, now I hit the movie button, and now I'm recording. So literally that quick, so like seconds, right? I can stop recording, I can hit the power button, and I can throw it in my pocket. So if I want to take a little video shot, so let's say I'm walking my wife, walking with my wife, I go, ooh, look, that's a nice little video shot. So I hit the power button, I start recording, and I record, so I do basically like a 15-second thing, anyways, I get to that, I get done, and then I hit the power button, then I shove it, right? That's a lot easier. Then I pull this thing out, yeah, then it takes a minute, and then it has this crap. I was like, I don't want to deal with that crap right now. And then I get to here, and then I have to swipe, and then from here I have to make sure I have the right thing, and blah, 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 blah. So it's a lot easier to use. And so basically that's why I purchased this little guy, because I wanted something that has that nice 4K quality, but is in a form factor that's easier to use than the camcorder, and I want something that has overall usability that's a hell of a lot better than my Note 4. Again, something that you have to be thinking about whenever you're going to be using a piece of equipment is one of the questions you have is how often are you going to be using the piece of equipment? So let's say you own a Note 4 and you want to take a video every once in a while. And it's good. This has a really good camera on it. This has a lot of the footage that I took in the past is using this thing. Has a very good camera on it. But the problem is like for me, if I'm going to be going out and I'm going to be taking videos the way most people take pictures, I don't want to be slowed down by that. You know, if I want to take 20 or 50 of these short little videos in a day, being slowed down by that usability process is a real pain in the butt. So grabbing a nice little thing like this makes life a lot easier. So those are kind of the reasons why I was looking at buying a little guy like this, because it makes a lot of sense for what I'm doing. So I'm going to be going out there, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. I need something that is a very small form factor that is very easy to use. Now when you hear the price point for this thing, you're probably going to choke, because I choked. So this thing came out to, I went to Best Buy to buy it, so it came out to $1,006. $1,006. That's with tax. That's with tax. It was like $949 without tax, but we've got a nice 6% sales tax here in the Maryland area. And so one of the questions you may be asking then is like, well, Eli, if it's $1,006, that's really expensive. Surely you would have been able to find something else. And curiously enough, doing my research, actually, this seems to be the best option for small 4K video. There are other weird smartphone-y type things out there, but again, then you've got to deal with all that crap. If you want a nice little compact camera that can do 4K video, this is basically the one. Now the question then comes up, is like, but Eli, you could go out there and buy something at 1080p, and the issue that I see is that all video is going to be going to 4K. Again, basically all new TVs that you buy are 4K TVs, and so one of the questions that you have to ask yourself is if you're going to be taking video, or if I'm going to be taking video content, going to be creating video content, why would I create video content that I know is already going to be obsolete, right? So if I go out there and I get a 1080, one of these things that does 1080p, I already know that's obsolete. I already know that's not the best. And what's surprising when you deal with video is that video lasts a long time. You don't really think about it. Like when I started the whole Eli the Computer Guy project 6.5 years ago, and I originally did those videos, I figured that they were kind of disposable. Right, the videos that I did like 6.5 years ago, I figured would be essentially worthless right now. I did not honestly believe anybody would be watching those videos now. And surprisingly enough, people still watch those videos. Every single day. They're still making me money. People are still watching those horrible, crappy ass videos. And so as video content creation becomes more normal, it becomes more stable, the thing that you have to be thinking about is the video that you create today, people are probably going to still be watching it in a decade. Right, so like with the Vlogbrothers, good example of what I watch. So I watch the Vlogbrothers, and so I got addicted to Vlogbrothers last year, and so I watched all of their videos, and I believe they started in 2007. And so they're horrible, like they're all pixelated to hell and back. But I still watch it. Like, so it was last year. So 8 years after they had been created, I was still watching them. And I'm sure people will watch them this year, and I'm sure people will watch them the next year. So the reality is those videos that the Vlogbrothers created back in 2007, they're still going to be viewed for 10 years. Hell, they maybe even be viewed for 20. So again, the question that you kind of have to ask yourself if you're going to be going out and you're going to be buying equipment is are you going to create something today that you already know is obsolete? And so that was my decision for buying this little guy. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to get the nice little 4K camera now and go with it. Overall, if you're looking for a nice little 4K camera like this and you can spend $1,000, this is really nice. So I have a lot of Sony equipment. over the years I've bought, like I say, all my real cameras have been Sony equipment. I've bought four like prosumer grade Sony camcorders that do different things. Again, with all of the Sony stuff, it's all very good quality. This has a nice little build to it. It even has things like the flash built in, so it's got a nice little flash on there if you want it. It's a viewfinder. I don't know why it has a viewfinder. Let's see. So I can look through the viewfinder like this. I don't know why. It really kind of sucks, if you ask me. But otherwise, it's a nice little thing. So I figured I'd just talk about that today, why I bought this thing, why I was willing to spend the money on it. Because I do believe in buying good equipment. You know, your business revolves around the equipment that you buy, right? You know, I think about it this way with, back in the day, I used to do a lot of wiring. So doing network cabling was big money, $150 per run. Good money, right? Well, one of the things you had to do is when you were doing those runs, you had to punch down the Cat5 cable either into a plug or into a patch panel. And so I went out and when I first went out to buy a punch down tool, I bought this little $5 thing. It was just $5 piece of crap. Right, and the issue and the thing that I found was that $5 thing worked fine enough when I punched down one plug or I punched down a couple of ports on a patch panel. But when you started doing much more than that, when you had to punch down 10 ports in a row or 20 ports, or you're doing an office and you had like 50, it really started to hurt your hand. And so although it seems ridiculous, Ideal had this really nice punch down tool that cost $70. It was $70 plus $20 per blade. So you could either buy a 110 blade or a 666 blade. So it was like $100 to buy one of these things. And for what seems like a really stupid thing, simply punching down wires all day. But let me tell you, that was one of the best $100 I ever spent, because it was an insane amount of profit margin running all that cable, and then simply just being able to punch down the wire, it just felt so good. At the end of the day, my hand wasn't all bruised up. You know, it didn't feel absolutely miserable. And so that's one thing that for you guys to be thinking about as you buy equipment for your business or whatever ventures that you're going to do. Are you buying the equipment that's good enough for what you want to do? Are you buying something that has good usability? Again, although this has a good camera on it, the usability is a pain in the ass. There are a lot of video shots I have not taken on my trips simply because dealing with this was a pain in the butt. Again, the camcorder in front of me, I mean, it's a great piece of equipment, but it's a big piece of equipment. If I'm going out kayaking, if I'm going out doing other things, I don't necessarily want to drag that along with me because there's a very large chance that's going to break. So buying something that actually does exactly what I need it to do in the form factor that I need with the usability that I need really has a lot of good value. And so that's something that you guys should be thinking whenever you go out to buy stuff, because a lot of times you think, you know what, this one little device or this one little tool, it's to get the perfect one is $1,000, and to get one that's slightly worse, slightly not quite as good is only $500. So I'm going to save $500. But the thing is, if you save $500, but then what you buy doesn't actually accomplish the goals that you need, have you saved $500, or will you end up wasting $500 because then you have to go buy the $1,000 thing in the future, right? I see that happen with a lot of people. They try to save money, so they're like, well, instead of buying the $1,000 camera, I'll buy the $500 camera. And they save money by buying the $500 camera. They use the $500 camera for 2 months. They realize why the $500 camera is a $500 camera, and then they go out and they buy the $1,000 camera. So they didn't save them any money. It actually ended up costing them $500 more. All right, so just one of those things to be thinking about. But I'm very happy with this little guy. It has a very nice sensor in it. It has a good screen. It has a weird little viewfinder thing. Very cool. But overall, it seems to be built very well. It does very good video footage. It has a good little microphone in there. I was surprised. The microphone seems very good. So hopefully this is what I'll be taking as my wife and I go out and travel and adventure and go off and do those really cool things. So that's just kind of my lessons for you guys today in life. I've got a little Skype meeting in a minute, so I've got to go. Is basically the two the two lessons I would say for today is when you go out to buy equipment or to buy anything for yourself, make sure you're buying what you actually need. Think about what you need, because it's not just simply about the functionality. It's also the form factor. It's also the usability. It's also all that kind of stuff. And then the other thing, kind of like the tangential lesson that I would say is part of today, is also ask yourself if working more is actually going to make you any more money or make your life better. This is a funny thing, like I've seen in the modern world, like people have started to decide that work is what's important. So they go out there and to show how important they are, they want to work 50 or 60 hours a week because that shows how important they are. And one of the things that I'm learning about this whole modern world is, again, most of us, we get paid, especially if you're a business person, you get paid by the solutions that you provide. Again, what is this solution worth? Is this solution worth $10,000 or $100, right? And so what you start to find out is when you start selling things based off of solutions, that you actually don't have to work nearly as much as you think you do. Right? And again, it's like there's this idea of, oh, I need to work 50 hours a week. But if you get done with 20 hours in a week and you've made your $5,000 or $10,000 or however much you make in a week, you may be like, you know what? Is there a reason to work more? Should I be killing myself? Should I be trying to scale this thing? Should I be trying to make something bigger? Or maybe I should just take my profit and go home. And that has been my lesson. Because I don't know what it is. And it is. It's like, because in this modern world, everybody's talking about startup companies and everybody talks about scaling and all that kind of stuff. Again, Spaghetti Monster blessed. If you can scale your startup company, go for it. What I have found over the past decade is I suck at scaling. I am so bad at scaling, because basically what scaling involves you dealing with other people to build your project. And what I have found is I do not understand other people. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, I have no idea how most of the world feeds itself. Like, I swear, some days I wake up in the morning and I expect like the entire world to have starved to death over the night because people haven't been able to figure out how to put spaghetti into their mouths. And so for me, spending the last 10 years, and again, like I say, trying to scale up and create a business, I have found it has just been one miserable failure after another. Every time I deal with it. Business partners, that didn't work out. Employees, that didn't work out. This didn't work out. That didn't work out. That didn't work. And so it's like, you know what? I'm getting a nice check. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start traveling more. You know what? If I can work 1 week a month, backlog all the real videos that get me paid, and then have those come out on a scheduled basis, that sounds like a good life. That sounds like something that I want to do. That sounds like something that I want to do. So anyways, that is my thought. That is my thought today for February 16th. Hopefully I'll have, I don't know, cooler, more interesting things to talk about as this goes. But anyways, I guess it's about 2 minutes before I have to do the Skype call. So I will see you guys tomorrow.